Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Happy Thursday evening.
Yes,
How is
Thursday.
everybody doing?
Better, much
Alive.
better.
Is everyone happy? Everyone's happy? Got the happy faces on?
Sure.
Content?
Sure.
Well, as happy as can be.
I had some alcohol. That's as happy as I am right now. So.
I'm curious to see if anyone's going to
Alcohol
come
is
in
good.
to defend
I like
themselves or defend their side from last week.
Right.
What
Oh,
happened
my
to better?
God.
Yeah.
No, I can't
Bruce is like,
believe
oh,
that.
I'm ready.
No.
Time for some movie chat and some disappointment,
Actual shade.
angry voices, and
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Here.
We actually, so you said it, Chan, we were talking about movies, and I've been all week long going, I wonder how many arguments are going to be caused over movies that we think are trash.
yeah. I actually pulled up AFI's 100 years, 100 movies, top movies. How many have you seen? Kind of a list, and I'm kind of like skimming through some of this, and it goes like from Citizen Kane on through a lot. It's a pretty thorough list. It's pretty interesting. The Maltese Falcon, Apocalypse Now, Bonnie and Clyde, To Kill a Mockingbird, like all Dr. Zhivago.
I realized something. My age is going to be really up here in this episode.
No. It needs to be like A Clockwork Orange. That's like cult classic.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver, Jaws, like
Heck
all
yeah.
this. It's a heck of a list, man. And I think that these are movies like a lot of people either would say you should see or would be like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like there's probably a very back and forth
Debates around it because
there.
it really is opinion. I mean, there's classics in terms of you need to know for pop culture purposes, I would probably say.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, whether you like it or not would probably be another thing. I think Gort has pushed me through a lot of these movies in general. I'm trying to see if I can find this list. Some I think I've just seen just in general because there was I had a phase where I'd like to watch movies. So.
It's kind of crazy. Like Close Encounters is on there. Silence of the Lambs. So is Stagecoach, 1939. Wuthering Heights.
What the heck? I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, I mean, like this list is like it's kind of insane to think, and there aren't very many like more modern movies on here. The Unforgiven from '92 is on there. Pulp Fiction from '94 is on there.
Okay.
But I feel like some of these that I've seen,
okay.
like I think maybe some of it might just been movies or books that I had to read in high school, like All Quiet on the Western Front. That sounds familiar. I wonder if that was a book I had to read in high school or something.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a book, and then they made a movie.
Like,
I remember Amadeus. I remember that.
Maya put up in the chat Birth of a Nation. I have never even heard of that movie. I don't know.
It sounds familiar.
I've never heard of Birth of a Nation.
Do we
some of these are movies that I want to see, like Tootsie. I know it's up on those. It's
you
on my
haven't
list.
Seen Tootsie?
So good.
I know it's one I want to see. It's one that I've seen good interviews of Dustin Hoffman talking good of his perspective of being, because he would go out in the woman clothes and experience similar as close as he could to the woman experience. And I thought that was a very interesting thing for him to say back then. Well, when did it come out? 1982, so before I was born, just by 1 year. But like still like to have that experience then of being like, this is what it was to be a woman. Like
Right.
I mean, I don't know how convincing.
Oh, okay, so Maya said that it's racist propaganda.
Yeah.
So
it's not worth
I would
it.
say that needs to be removed then, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no.
Oh, definitely not worth it.
No.
We
Which
have enough
movie?
racist propaganda flowing around as it is. The Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation.
Yeah.
It's more probably propaganda, but more learning about the hit, like seeing it, like in a sense of getting in the mind of probably the racists in that sense. Because sometimes it's almost like seeing what it is, you know what you're battling when it comes at. Like, isn't kind of like, I feel like I've seen clips of, what's that movie? The one where it's Edward Norton, American
History X.
Yeah, History X and stuff like that, where he is like a
Yeah.
racist in it. I have never seen it. I've just seen clips and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like a
from
white
that sense.
supremacist in that movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked
Yeah.
up.
Ooh.
And it's almost like getting in the
That's
mind of
not
it so
good.
that you can see it and almost kind of questioning yourself. Like, what is it? To what extent do you, in your own mind,
Yeah.
are going
So-
into it?
I found the IMDb
Yeah,
top
I'm-
100 greatest movies of all time, and I think I'm starting to like that list a little better as I'm skimming through that.
I am
Actually, yeah, I like
IMDb?
IMDb a little better. Yeah, it's got like it starts with like Godfather, Shawshank Redemption, Schindler's List, Raging Bull, Casablanca, Citizen Kane, Gone with the Wind, Wizard of Oz, One Flew Over the
It's
Cuckoo's
probably
Nest.
rated. Those ones are probably rated ones. While this is probably ones in terms of seeing American culture. Is Grapes of
Right,
Wrath the one where the lady loses her baby and then she's
Yeah.
feeding a homeless guy at the end?
Yes, I believe so.
Yep.
What if Rotten Tomatoes had a list?
And then
Yeah, we wouldn't need to look. right now.
I wonder.
See, and Star Wars
Okay,
is on
Bill
this list.
Bicharo?
2001: A Space Odyssey, E.T., Silence of the Lambs.
I have
I
something
like
controversial to
Forrest
say.
Gump.
2001: Space Odyssey, not good.
Yes.
I don't like it. It's
You don't like it?
My mom thought the
freaking
same
boring.
thing. My
I'm
mom
sorry.
Really?
My mom would agree with you. Yeah, my mom would have agreed with you
I'm
100%.
sorry.
She hated the fact that I loved it and I
So-
made her watch it like 10 times.
I understand why it was revolutionary. I do. But it's just why. That's my only question is why. Like
I don't think I've ever seen it, but that's a Stanley Kubrick movie, right?
Yes, it's a Stanley
So,
Kubrick. It's
for
it-
him-
yeah.
Yeah.
If you've seen other movies of his, like
You-
Clockwork
yeah.
Orange being one of them.
20
Right.
Right. 2010 A Space Odyssey is really good too.
So there you go. There's a
Kubrick's
Well,
just very,
controversial.
he's just very strange. I think you have to be in the right mindset for his
And-
movies.
and I'm an artist too, which is
Right.
even more fucked up. So you think I'd understand it? No. Sorry. I understand the vision. It just went way too slow.
I mean, that could be a
IMDb's got Silence of the Lambs on there too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like their list.
Oh.
I do too. Lord of the Rings, Gladiator, Titanic.
Yeah.
Why for
I'm looking at
Titanic
IMDb, but the AFI one, I only seen 18
Psycho!
out of the 100, surprisingly. I haven't
I'm
seen
not-
enough of them.
And is this controversial? I don't like Titanic. I hated that movie.
I've never seen it.
I was in high school when that movie came out,
Mhm.
and I remember all us girls went together. One girl had a boyfriend that came with it, but his family, for some reason, his little sister and his mom and dad came with us too, because everyone heard it was such a hype or whatnot. But the scene with Rose, he got so embarrassed because he's all like, "There's a topless girl. I'm with my girlfriend. I'm with my little sister and my parents. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what to do."
I just remember the scene where they're in the car,
Right.
you see the handprint going down.
Mhm.
And I was like
Yep.
freaking
I
out
know.
about that.
Oh.
I don't
I
know.
didn't think it was that great.
I just remember getting the 2-set VHS.
Oh my god, I miss those. The only one that
VHS?
we have, the 2 sets. We have Mary Poppins. That was a 2-set VHS. I remember
Oh.
that. That was so
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, the
Wizard
box
of-
was like that big.
I know.
Wizard of Oz was another one that was the
Ooh.
two box.
And the Green Mile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
I'm not going with the one. Sound of Music was too.
Oh, I love the
For
Green
us.
Mile.
Yeah, Dr.
Oh, yeah,
Zhivago, I think, was too.
Yep.
God, that's such a blast to the past. That's so. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, what, Nick? Nick's is
I have a
commenting.
whole
love-
box of VHS tapes over here.
Avatar. Wait, which Avatar? The Blue People Avatar
I like that
or
one,
Aang
though.
Avatar?
I mean, I
Yes.
love everything that he said so far, but I
don't think
love Avatar.
The Blue People Avatar?
The Blue Parrot, well, both actually, yes, but yeah,
You like them both?
yeah.
It's not
But I
bad.
know that
Avatar, I've never
I
seen
wasn't
in theaters in 3D. That's the only time I've seen it.
I didn't. Blue People. He says Blue People. I can
I-
understand it, but I do like it. I'm sorry.
I understand also that it's basically
I-
Pocahontas in space, but I love the animation. So
every movie of that
Dances
nature.
with
What is
Wolves.
it? It's also Dancing with, to say Dancing with
Mhm.
Wolves.
Yeah, Dances with Wolves.
space.
Yep.
Are you saying
All
you
you
like it
need.
or that it's overrated?
Oh, I like it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
I love
sure.
Dances with Wolves too. So yeah.
I think what's
Yeah, it's-
overrated
I
about
like that.
Avatar is that there's 3 movies coming out, and then there's also the land for it as well. There's like all this
Yeah.
stuff, and
See, for me, I think
less missed its loop in terms.
See, I think I look at Avatar. I don't think of Pocahontas. I think of Fern Gully. It's like
It's like a
little
mix.
bit, yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
little bit of a mix.
But you think about it, it's the stranger coming in from a strange land to another strange land, falling in love with the local, and
Girl,
then fighting
yeah.
for.
I mean, it's
Exactly.
it's very like common plot line situation.
Yeah.
It's very Disney princess,
Right.
But the,
Yep.
the art and the animation is absolutely gorgeous. I am a glutton for animation and art when it comes to movies. Like Atlantis: The Lost Empire is one of my favorite movies.
That's a great one. Yeah.
What else is there? There's DreamWorks used to do their like they were more creative. Prince of Egypt and Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah.
God, I love those movies. Oh,
El Dorado. Do you remember El Dorado?
Yes.
That's a great one too. Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful. Like I love those movies that have just absolutely gorgeous, beautiful animation. So I'm that type of like I also grew up with like a lot of like 80s and 90s Disney. So I also love like Hercules and Aladdin. Apparently, so my parents made this clear to me. I don't remember this, but apparently when I was like 2 or 3, I watched Aladdin so much I broke the VHS tape.
I mean, like when you're a little kid.
I can understand that.
Mine was, I think it was Beauty and the
Russ?
Beast was the one I watched way too much.
Beauty
I don't know
and the
if I had
Beast.
one.
Russ and I had our first date at the Dollar Movie Theater to watch Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
So that
That's
movie
cute.
holds a huge place in my heart. Yeah,
it's a good story.
It
Anyway.
is. Yeah, it's like Stockholm syndrome.
See, I'm
No, but it's
skimming
cute.
through this list still, and I see Goodfellas. I love that movie. That's a great
Evan
one.
made me
Oh,
watch
I
that
love
one.
Goodfellas. Oh,
All these movies I need to
that
watch
is
because I'm
such a
just
good
like
one.
Rain Man. Rain Man was a good movie. Fargo. Fargo was a great movie. I love that movie.
Shawshank
Green
Redemption's on there too.
Oh,
1 or 2
I
or
love that
something like
movie.
that. I love Shawshank.
Close Encounters. Do you guys ever?
That is-
Did you guys watch that ever?
Oh,
Heard of it.
yes.
No,
I've
I'm
seen
sorry.
some.
Yes.
The original 77. That's a great one. The Close Encounters of the Third Kind. If you get I
Yep.
think it's. Did they just put it on Amazon? I think they might have just put it on Amazon. The original release. That's a great one.
That
And
is.
Pulp Fiction
is
holds
such
a
a good
very
movie.
deep place.
Okay,
in
that
my
was
heart. I
yes,
love
that was
movie.
amazing.
I
love
love
it.
I
That
really
goes along with the
think
Bruce Willis thing. I'm not a huge fan. It's got good scenes, but Bruce Willis is very hard. It's very hard.
I just
you know what? A lot of people
love
don't
it.
like. A lot of people don't like the way Tarantino did it. You know that it's jump. You know, you jump from one part of the movie to another. You know, to a different time of the movie, and then it's like all jumbled up. A lot of people don't like that, and I'm like, what can't you like about that? It's freaking beautiful. I love the way he did that. So
I love the way
I don't
Tarantino
know.
does most things, though. You know, like
I will,
he's not afraid to splatter
Yeah.
blood.
I will admit, like I like his.
Oh,
movies,
yeah.
but just I don't know. They're not my favorite. I mean, I'll watch Tarantino's movies, but they're not my first pick.
Really? What's your first pick?
I don't really know. It just I think it would depend on my mood.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah, it
really
depends
one of
on your
those
mood.
like I literally could sit through like Jason's Voodoo and be like, okay, what am I gonna watch? What am I gonna watch?
I'm not gonna lie, girls. I'll watch a good rom com any day of the week.
Yeah.
They
they're
never
nice.
go in my
Oh,
top
feel
100.
good.
though.
See, that's what Gort hates about me because I
Oh,
love
I just
bad
remembered.
movies. I love movies that are bad, know they're bad, and still love watching them.
Oh yeah, don't
Like,
worry.
I love-
Oh my
I've had
God.
my movies where like well, then half the time, but they're like I watch usually it's whatever Jason wants to watch, or I go,
Mhm.
this is what I'm watching. Either you can watch it with me, you can go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what I tell him. So like, how can you watch this stuff? Like, it's so bad. It's like, yeah, but it's so good. Like, I love it. There's just some that are just classics that you grow up with.
Like
Yeah,
I don't even admit,
no.
like,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
the Harry Potter movies, but I'm not gonna like jump on the TV every time it's on. Like
Yeah.
it's on
yeah.
because I don't like the commercials. I hate commercials. And I'm like, if I want to watch
And they
it, I'll
cut
do-
them.
they cut scenes.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah,
if
I
I'm gonna watch
appreciate that.
it, I'll just watch
Yeah.
it,
Would you say
Really?
Good Will Hunting is a rom-com? I mean, it's not really comedy.
Uh,
more like
I would
Sorry.
call it more drama.
Romance.
Really?
yeah, I'm
No.
doing more drama.
Yeah.
Drama, honestly, because that's the new. I would probably. I mean, yes, it could be mixed of the nature, but it's mostly. I don't really find it as a funny movie. It has funny moments, but
Yeah.
to me, it's more the drama. What is
Right.
the main storyline, and what's the pull for it? It's
Right.
a kid who's trying to better himself because he's smart, and he happens to be in a shitty situation. That's the main story. This happens to be romance in it and funny things, and
So, do rom-coms hit your
Right.
top 100? Like, are they up there in your top 10? Do you have a list of movies that you?
Top
They're in your
100
top?
definitely. Because I
rom-com.
Mhm.
yeah, for rom-com.
I mean, my top 100 movie is a drama romantic in a sense movie. That's my top favorite. Nothing's been able to pull it off of its spot. And it's an interesting movie. I may have mentioned it before, that has hit me at different age groups in watching this movie, which is weird. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, great movie. Great movie.
A movie I saw in theaters. It happened to be playing on the independent theater from my hometown. And I saw it, I think I was in high school or just finished high school, somewhere around there. So it's like, and so you got that young teen age in that sense. And it like hit me in a different spot where when you're first watching it, you know, there's boys that you like in high school and they don't want to be with you and you're so upset about it. And it's kind of like that whole concept. Then watching it again after my previous relationship to my husband and being in a 5-year relationship and that going bad, watching it again and seeing it in that sense, like, would you erase a person from your memory? I mean, there's
Right.
taking away someone who's like beating you and shit like that, but just a
Yeah, that's
relationship,
different. Right.
a relationship. Would you delete someone from your life? And I think that's an interesting story, especially since, I mean, spoilers, sorry for anyone who has to see it, he regrets doing it as it's happening. It's like, would
Right.
you do it?
Mhm.
Would you regret it? And would you re-fall in love with this person? That's an interesting
Mhm.
concept. Yeah, you don't
Right.
catch it till then that they're falling in love again after doing it.
Right.
Right.
Go Ems.
Oh, sorry. So I'm just like trying to find it real quick. With the two rom-coms I absolutely love, remember watching as a kid was hang on, You've Got Mail, and I think it's called French Kiss.
Mhm.
And I forget the
Yeah.
actress's name. I'm trying to find out.
Meg Ryan and oh god, I forget his name now because I love him so much. I do. He's such a great actor. He was in the Beauty and the Beast live action Disney. He played Belle's father. Shit. Kevin
Kinda
Kline.
from-
Kevin
Oh,
Kline?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Kline and Meg Ryan were in French Kiss. Yeah, I've seen it a thousand times as well because it was a big
I
one
love it.
for my sisters and my one aunt just absolutely loved that movie. So
So yeah, those are my favorite romantic comedies. I just remember watching them with my mom, and she had them on the TV, and I was just like, ah. It was just so captivating and cute and
I'm
nice
not-
and hilarious.
I'm not big into rom-coms. I'm not big into romance movies at all, but I tell you what, you turn on Dirty Dancing and my ass is going to sit and watch. I will sit there and watch.
What would you-
Patrick
what would you
Swayze dance his
categorize?
ass across that stage.
What would you
Yeah.
categorize Dirty Dancing as?
good question.
Probably as a drama. Because but
It's
see,
a
it doesn't even
romance
fit in that. It
movie.
doesn't even
It's
fit.
all-
It's maybe more like a romance. Yeah, it is. It is.
It doesn't- it's
Yeah,
not
I guess
comedic.
it is.
Dude, these guys in
Yeah,
this
it's
chat,
not
like,
comedic. No.
Nick's got Chasing Amy, High Fidelity. Brian says he really liked You've Got Mail, bought the soundtrack for it too. Great soundtrack, by the way. Nick says
Yeah.
Chasing Amy is in his top 5. All great movies
Whoa.
and definitely kind of romantic comedy-ish movies.
Yeah, because he's in love with the girl, but she's a lesbian, right? Or
Right.
bisexual or something.
Chasing Amy, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Anna, you might hate me, but I like Dirty Dancing, but it's not in my top 100.
It's in mine and Empire Records. Nick just
Really?
Empire Records.
It's one of
Really?
those movies I don't
a part
know.
Yes, Empire Records.
I'm not
Yes.
into it that much.
I don't know why. It's just
Oh,
it annoys me.
Dirty
Nobody
Dancing.
put Baby in the corner.
Top 100.
It's just something about it.
Nobody puts baby in a corner at all.
I mean, I get the movie and I get why it's such a classic,
I mean, don't say sorry. I mean, but he finds that out pretty soon, doesn't he? Anyway, in the movie,
I don't know why. I think one of my top kind of like a romantic rom-com or something would be A Walk to Remember, because I read the book.
But that's more of a drama romance, not really a comedy.
Yeah, comedy. Right? It has to be comedy. A rom-com is going to be 50 First Dates. I already talked about it like crazy.
Oh, that,
50 First Dates,
like
for me time.
Have you ever seen like Water for Chocolate? That's also a drama. Yeah. That's a great movie too, but it's a drama. It's a beautiful movie, very poetic.
Have you guys?
I mean, I've watched a lot of rom-coms. What would be one that I would go back?
Have you ever seen He's Just Not That Into You? That movie cracks me the fuck up. I laugh at every time.
Yeah, that one's funny.
I think mine would be How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
That's a great one too. It's
I think that
you guys need to watch if you haven't seen it.
Isn't It Romantic? Past?
Isn't It Romantic? Isn't that the one with
Rumor Willis? Not Rumor Willis. Sorry, not Rumor Willis. Rumor. What's her last name?
Wilson.
That's it. Sorry, their names are too close.
That's funny. That's a funny one.
That's a good. What about movie?
What about Ghost of Girlfriend's Past?
Seen that one. It's interesting.
Is that Matthew
McConaughey?
Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Garner. I would prefer if it was a Jennifer Garner movie. Her rom-com was the 13 Going on 30, which of course has Ruffalo.
That's funny.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
That's cute.
That's why she's essentially a 13-year-old and she wants to be 30. She wishes it for her birthday, and then the world goes weird.
30 and 30.
Wow,
I'm totally with Nick. The original Overboard. I loved that movie when I was a kid. That was a great freaking movie.
Yes, I forgot all about Overboard. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was awesome. Have you seen the remake of it? It sucks.
I didn't like it as much.
The remake is terrible.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
One of my top is Big Fish. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes.
Oh, I have. I only seen it once though. I really remember it.
I've watched it at different points within the last because it came out in 2003, I think. So it's 10 or so, 15 or so years.
Around then.
So my grandfather had died the year after that movie came out, and the first time I watched it was after he passed. And my grandfather was a big fisherman and hunter, so you always get these big fish tales, right? Like these stories about oh, I caught the biggest fish in the world, and all this shit. And there's always these stories, these old guys sitting around telling everybody all this stuff, and it made me think about him. And it was really weird too, because I had to have my mom watch it, and it did the same thing to her. There was just this feeling when you watched it that made you kind of attached to the father character and just the experiences. And it even now, I'll watch it, I'll cry like a baby through that movie and laugh. I'll laugh and cry. The big fish line at the end, I cry at that point. It's just it is a thing, like Grims was saying about, you watch a certain movie at different points in your life and it means something else. Fight Club does that to me too. I know that sounds weird, but
that was one that came out during high school for me, and we did see it in theaters when it was first launched. I do not remember it much from that first time watching it. I've seen it older, so I remember more of it. But yeah, that's one that's kind of, you're watching it the first time, you're like, what the fuck is going on? I don't understand whatever it is. But yeah, it's one that you have to watch multiple times, but you may want to space it out.
Yeah.
Absorb it a little bit, see what's going on, and go from there.
I think at that point, you'd have to be really careful about what movies you rewatch, because I just made a stark realization the other day. I rewatched Quest for Camelot, and I was so disappointed.
Yeah, there's some that don't hold up.
I loved it as a kid, and then I rewatched it. I'm just like, they really just took the prayer and just diced it up into different songs. What? Huh?
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is this? I'm just so sad.
Do you guys have any that didn't really hold up for you that you've watched recently? And gone back and watched? I mean, Quest for Camelot's definitely
so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
I can't think of any, but I know there's been a couple that I just won't touch again because I know it's just not going to hold up at all.
Yeah. Okay, does Nick has a good point? Does Princess Bride count and Groundhog Day count as rom-com?
Ooh,
Princess Bride, I would say romantic comedy drama. It's a bunch.
I love it.
The main core
Yeah.
is a romantic story. It's what's throwing the whole story into place.
Very
So
comedy
that's-
though.
But it's very comedy. But then it has a lot of drama too. Inigo Montoya, that has the whole thing, the whole avenging your father, all that stuff.
Oh,
Like,
And marriage.
but it's comedy. It's definitely
True
comedy.
love.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the best
Groundhog's Day
Oh,
is
no.
a rom-com.
part.
That would be a definition of one.
Hey,
Groundhog Day.
Frederick, are there rocks ahead? If there are, we'll all be dead. God, I love that movie. I love it.
That's one I haven't seen in some time that I probably should rewatch again for a while.
That one holds up for me. It
Yeah.
holds up.
Ooh, I think they have it on Disney Plus. Yeah, I think I rewatched it recently.
Yeah, Russ introduced me to that movie. I had never seen it before until we started dating. And he's like, "You haven't seen Princess Bride?" I said, "No." He said, "We're not going anywhere. Sit. We're watching." I was like,
It's so
"All right."
good.
We sat and we watched it. And I'm like, now we're just looking at the guide on TV and it's on. I'm like, we're watching Princess Bride, or we'll pull it up because we've got it on. I bought it off of Amazon and I've got it on Vudu. And I'm like, we're watching it. If I'm just in the mood, I'll just sit and watch it. It's perfect.
Yeah. It's got that good time. It's got a good feel to it. It hits all the points,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That and Empire Records,
I
And
like
then-
that was it. I can skip scenes of Empire Records and be fine. Like I can fast forward through certain parts and be like, okay, I'm good. Like it's fine. It's fine. But I just
Shoplifter!
I think
Oh,
one movie
God,
that I
I
could
love
watch
it. Like,
over
Empire
and
Records
over
is-
again, and I don't think I would get sick of it because
Uh-huh.
I did at one point was Boondock Saints. That at one point was my go-to movie where
It's a good one.
I knew I could almost say line for line through that whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I
good
think one of my favorite scenes is the one where they're going through the vents with the rope and they fall with the rope. It's like, I told you the fucking rope would come in handy. Fucking rope.
Okay, this is a little old for you there, Ams, but Breakfast
Oh,
Club.
really?
Yes.
Actually, I've seen that
What
one.
is it?
Yeah,
I didn't
I've
hear
seen
you.
Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah.
Breakfast Club.
I've seen that, but once
That's
though,
probably one of the
because-
few that holds up of those movies in sense. 'Cause some of them just don't. I mean, if you think
Yeah.
of like 16 Candles and the whole didn't that one girl get essentially like raped
Mhm.
and stuff when you stop and think about it?
Pretty in Pink
Yeah,
was probably the one out of those that I like the most. I think out of those like John Hughes.
Movies, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Breakfast Club's always in the top, but Pretty in Pink, with the ducky, who would?
Well, that's one of the movies
Yeah.
that it did have a different ending, but then the test audience didn't like it, even though the fans now would prefer the original ending to it, apparently.
Mhm.
Because it was set up for her to be with Ducky, I believe, but then she ends up going with whatever his name is.
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
you know
right.
what movie
Yeah.
I really need to see that I've been told to see for like the longest time. The Goonies. I've still haven't seen
That's a
it.
child movie.
I still haven't.
You've never seen it?
Do
I
it.
know.
Oh shit!
Come
Oh,
That's
Come
it.
Oh,
on.
come on.
I'm sorry.
Goonies
Uh,
and
I know it's such a
I
cult
know
classic.
the truffle shuffle. We used to make our friends do that when they were drunk. If you like,
Yeah.
do the truffle shuffle, you're not
Yeah.
coming in.
Do it.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
do it.
what about Stand By Me?
We used
Stand
to always
By
go
Me,
like
yeah.
chung, chung,
Oh,
chung.
yes.
Stand By Me is a movie that is in my top 10
That movie, I will cry.
Yeah.
every fucking time.
Always cry. And I love,
Yeah.
of course, I love the music because I love the song "Stand By Me."
Yeah, yeah. Lowry's
Yeah.
saying 16 Candles as good as it gets, The Wedding Singer, Coming to America, and Say Anything. All great.
Mhm.
As Good as It Gets is awesome. I love that one. Wedding Singer, I
Say
wasn't
Anything?
hot on. Coming to America has to. Coming to America is just like
Oh my
awesome.
God.
That's
Well-
must watch.
Well, the Wedding Singer, that actually was
That was
one
cute.
of our songs.
I like that
on
one.
Cheddar Cake.
Oh no, that's awesome. I love that.
Brammer
really
said
great.
Tu Wong Fu.
That was one I was
That's in
just
my
about to
top
point.
10.
That's
Yeah.
one that I
Yes.
probably started like reflecting. I saw that movie when I was younger,
Mhm.
and like kind of I don't think it resonated with me quite how now as an adult on what it is and what drag queens were. I wish I knew more or had more of that in my culture because I mean I love drag queens. I think they're amazing, but the only thing is that Tu Wong Fu unfortunately is a little off. They're drag queens, but unfortunately they're also playing as like transgender a little bit, and so it's a little off and how
That is
it's
a bit strange.
representative from it because they stay in drag the whole time when really they should be. Most
Back
drag
and
queens
forth.
do not
Yeah.
stay in drag the whole time. They're kind of just
Do you
keeping
think
that.
the only reason why they did is because when they arrived at the little town, they were in drag?
No, they were driving the
In
whole
drag the
way
whole
in
time.
drag.
Yeah,
They were
that's
always
true.
in drag
In
the
the
whole
car
time.
and everything.
But I
yeah,
don't, unless they were trying to say that they were more transgendered as a whole. I mean, I could believe, I mean, in theory, you could, I guess, say all three of them were transgender, but they were all, not to say that transgender people do not do drag. A lot of transgender people actually do drag first to kind of realize that they are transgender. But
How
that
do
is
you
one.
feel? How do you feel with like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert? Have you?
That one I only seen bits and pieces for. That is one I do need to watch.
I love that
did
one.
recently watch Parison's Burning because that's one that I felt like I had to watch.
I didn't watch that one.
That's about the drag ballroom scene in New York. So that one I was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there, but it has a lot of specific things because overgrown orangutan, like just where they do reading and they all that type of stuff to each other. But I do need to see Priscilla. I know of some scenes, but those are ones that they are out of drag from what I remember. They do stay out of drag and then they go into drag, which I feel is a bit better representation of what drag is.
That bus, I'm telling you, that bus is like heaven. I love it. Anyway, how are you? How are you guys with comedies? I was just gonna throw that in there. Is it more of like a romance comedy, or do you guys really dig into like Will Ferrell, like Adam Sandler kind of comedy?
If I want comedy, it's got to be like I'm crying, I'm laughing, I'm almost peeing myself because I'm laughing so hard. Like for me, like Dodgeball.
That one's pretty fun. That was one. There was a time when Gort was showing me movies, but he was just showing me so many, and so I didn't take to them very well. And we've rewatched some of them again, like Dodgeball being one, Grandma's Boy being another one. That one has grown on me. I did not like it the first time, but the second time that one grew on me.
I love that movie.
He's making me watch what's that called? The Dude movie. I can't.
The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, he's trying to make me watch that one a third time. There's a lot that I don't like about that movie, but he wants me to watch it again because everyone loves it.
I have a gem for you. Kung Fu Hustle.
That's his
favorite.
favorite.
I've seen some of that one.
So fucking good.
It's funny in a weird sense.
I love Kung Fu Hustle. So good.
See, I'm more like Monty Python, you know. I'm more
I mean, there's
Holy Grail.
I love
like,
that.
All I can say is,
Yeah.
I kept watching the one clip that you had on your Facebook feed, the
Sweater Weather.
No, not Sweater Weather, the condom.
The condom, yes.
Mrs.
Brown Boy.
Could not stop laughing.
That's not movies though. Like that's
I
BBC
know,
television.
yeah, like that's like the kind of like humor I also do enjoy. Like that, just you can't help but laugh no matter what.
Go on to YouTube. Almost all of the episodes for that show are up on YouTube that you can watch.
Yeah, dick and fart
jokes. And it is. Yes, I have. Oh, and when I know this is completely off of movies, but when Mrs. Brown decides to wax her bikini area, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's the. Oh shit, Jason. Yes, Mrs. Doubtfire. I love Mrs. Doubtfire. Anything
Robin Williams classic.
Anything there. Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That's a childhood movie.
From
anything Robin Williams.
From Nick. Okay, Borat. I'm mixed. It's a mixed feeling because when I did watch it when it first came out. It's impressive what he went through to do it.
Yeah.
But that type of humor is just like, it's a little too far for me.
It's one that definitely does not hold up, especially when he's trying to kidnap like Pamela Anderson and stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
But it's one of those like, to get away with what he did, which is what that actor Sacha Baron Cohen wants to do. It's just to make you think about everything.
Another movie for me that I just it never aged well for me was Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, from the beginning,
that is one that actually
I thought it was funny.
From when I first saw it, when it first came out to now, I just could not get into it.
That one is just good. Like Gort would agree with you because he hates that movie. But that was a stupid humor movie. That is
the only thing that is funny about it is the whole Tina thing, because Jason
Tina,
you fat Lorna.
Jason, his one sister's name is Tina. So they would sometimes throw that joke at her and it would piss her off. That's the only thing that would make me laugh, is just that, because his one brother can do that. Tina! So wow. But that's just one of those movies. I'm just like, I never got into
are really bad.
I'm just
my chapstick.
That was like really the start of cringe culture, I believe. That Napoleon Dynamite was the start of cringe comedy.
And I never caught into it. I just never.
Well, it was like a short film of a character just to see what they can do, and then MTV that was when MTV was doing movies.
Yeah.
And there you go.
And that just coming in, and Uncle Rico. God, him being a kid, that one is kind of funny. Later, that Uncle Rico is the same guy who plays the guy who lived in the closet in Real Genius, and seeing him and then watching Real Genius later and be like, oh, hey, it's Uncle Rico. What is he fucking doing living in the closet for some reason?
Love Real Genius.
Yeah, Real Genius is that's one that's there that I forget about until I see it, but that's a good movie that
I will admit that Real Genius gave me a huge, huge crush on Val Kilmer. But that was the only one. Like, I didn't have, most of the other movies he was in, I was like, whatever.
That started see, that's something with me in movies. I would get into movies phases with actors or actresses that I wanted to follow. So Val Kilmer had a whole thing where I watched like The Saint. I can't think of any other ones, the Batman's ones, and all the other like random ass movies that in. Eternal Sunshine actually came from an Elijah Wood phase from Lord of the Rings being in there. I was like, well, let me see all Elijah Wood movies and stuff like that. And it happened to be coming out around the same time in the middle of Lord of the Rings, and that's when I got into that one. So it's kind of interesting, the random movies finding that way.
It's funny because I might start another war. I never got into Lord of the Rings.
That's fine.
Really?
It's a weird one. Lord of the Rings is weird.
I would rather watch The Hobbit.
But it's still Tolkien.
I know. But see, I think
no. That one I'll disagree with. Lord of the Rings is better than The Hobbit.
See,
to me, it's all the same story. So I'm sitting here like, what are you doing? You're comparing oranges here. Like, it's the same.
But I just don't know why. I just never. And I think it was because at that point, I was so Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But I looked at Lord of the Rings and I was just like, no. And I'm still that way. I just can't sit down and just.
Tolkien came before.
I know it came before you. Yeah, it's just what it is.
I can't binge watch Lord of the Rings.
I can watch it all.
Lord of the Rings is a hard. I would think I would binge watch it. I think what I like more about Lord of the Rings, and this is kind of how I like certain movies, and unfortunately that's how I feel about Star Wars, which pisses off Gort like crazy. I like seeing the behind the scenes stuff, seeing how it's made, all that type of stuff. That's actually more interesting to me because Lord of the Rings being a series of 3 movies that were made together, that is just crazy. That is a buy-in with a lot of money for 3. I remember seeing in the movie theaters the one time, I knew nothing about Lord of the Rings, but my friends flipped out about it when they did the the sneak peek of them climbing over the mountain. I don't know if any of you guys saw that in the movies, but they were trying to tease at it. And it's like this coming out in this year and then the following year and the following year. I was like, what the fuck is this? But my friends were flipping tits about that movie.
Yeah, because I had friends that like they memorized the elfin language. I mean, they had all. They just weren't like absolutely crazy. I just was like
over the top.
Yeah, but it's been in books forever.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
lifetimes of storytelling by Tolkien, and it like my mom would rave about Tolkien, and I'm a child, like I'm a little teeny tyke,
Mhm.
and she's raving about these stories, and I watched the cartoons as a kid, and I was terrified by the cartoons because it's such an intense story.
Those. Oh,
Yeah, it's
I
such
think
an intense story.
because I mean, I know people, and like my mom was one of them. She actually read the Lord of the Rings books, and she says they of course, they left so much out from the books because it was such a freaking huge, so long.
I will agree with what Brian just said about tired of friggin' Frodo. He fast forward.
Frodo. No, okay,
Thank
so
you.
I
So
can understand with this. And this
whining.
is
Yeah.
a sneak peek of also my same argument with I would consider Frodo on the same level as Harry Potter and Luke Skywalker. It's the chosen one in a sense, and then and it's almost like this responsibility that's put into them.
Right.
The thing that I actually do like is the seduction. It goes again as what the seduction that Frodo falls into, and I think it's very subtle. Not subtle. Some things are pointed out, but the seduction of the ring itself. Yes, he's whiny and whatnot, and the responsibility to be him, but he is being seduced by the ring, and I think that's what's kind of interesting as a character, and seen at the end. Oh, spoilers if anyone hasn't seen it. At the end of him wanting to keep it and becoming the same, and then you almost then. Seeing it happen to Frodo makes you feel more for Gollum and seeing what had happened and seeing them in a sense. You needed to what happened to Frodo to then feel sorry for him because he's whatever and he's sabotaging them and whatnot, but being away from the ring in a sense is bringing some of the Hobbit, I would say humanity, but the Hobbit back into.
Gollum's a creepy bastard. He shouldn't be killed.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you.
I didn't hear what it said.
Bastard should be killed.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
that
he was going to be needed to be killed, but I mean, he got to be with the thing that he loved the most. If you see it, he's not scared of dying. He's happy that he has the ring. Like that's the thing that he loves. He's happy. He's dying happy. That's psycho.
Like, see, they could have done that with less screen time because I feel like they really too heavily focused on Samwise, Frodo, and Gollum. They could have
Oh, see, I liked Samwise. I think out of all the characters, he was my favorite.
I have to admit that was like the most boring part of the Twin Towers. This the second movie. That was the most boring part.
Agreed.
So like,
Agreed. That could have been cut a whole lot less because you don't really need some of it but I think it's more because it was the fantasy and the work that they were putting into the CGI effects. Once again, it's how they make the movie that's more interesting on it. And I think that's probably why they put so much more focus than probably needed to be on it is because they were doing that with Andy Serkis and it was such a big thing because that's what a huge thing was at that moment.
Yeah,
I feel like Sam was a much more interesting character than Frodo. Like he is definitely my top favorite character in the Lord of the Rings.
I agree.
Well, he was one to be not seduced by the ring. He was a ring bearer. And he did not get seduced by it.
No, but he cared so much about Frodo, he was willing to throw himself in front of anything and everything for him. That is a true, like that is what love is. You know what I mean? Like that is, Sam defines love for his friend in that way. It's such a, he's such a beautiful character throughout like that entire lore. Yeah. It's phenomenal. And I just need it like Nick before it disappeared. Lady Hawk, good call, my friend. Ba-bump right here in the fields. That is one of the top, most amazing storylines I've ever seen. I fucking love that movie so much. It's ridiculous.
There's so many movies I need to watch.
Huh?
There's so many movies I need to watch now, and as we're talking, I have my phone right here. I'm just writing down each and every movie that pops into my head that I remember.
Check out Lady Hawk. It's definitely kind of like a romance movie, but it's got a hell of a storyline. It's a crazy good story, and it's
never heard of it. When did it come out?
Oh man, was it late 70s, early 80s? Something. It's an older movie, but it's very underrated. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, 85 actually. Wow, I'm off. It had and was it Michelle Pfeiffer was in that? Yes.
What is
Yeah.
a quick premise? What is it about?
Man, like I can't. Oh man, it's so.
Does it have a premise real quick, a plot point, and what you're looking up?
So it's got a young Matthew Broderick in it, which is always a plus.
Don't really care about him. He's not one of those that's not on my list. I know Jason mentioned Ferris Bueller, but it's like that's one of those movies I'm not a fan of. But I will say Birdcage is along the same lines of To Wong Fu for me. One of those movies that is more influential than I probably realized as a kid in that type of stuff, because I did see that when I was younger, which is a really good performance also from Robin Williams again as a character.
Yes, I love Birdcage too. That is an awesome
That was a
freaking
good
movie.
movie, yeah.
I'll watch that anytime it's on too.
But do you have a premise of the Lady Hawk or no?
Lady Hawk, it's basically it's sort of like a dark fantasy type movie. It's real. Like I have a really hard time explaining it because it gives away the storyline. It's one of those things you kind of have to see. Like these two, this man and this woman, kind of have like a secret.
Okay.
I can't.
They just have a
Bremer,
secret.
can you help me with this? Because like I don't really know what to say here without giving it away. It's just like they've been cursed. I'll put it that way, and they are just. It's like almost like a true love situation, and then they're cursed from being together in a certain way. It's very. Man, it's so hard.
You have to check it out.
But you said it's fantasy.
Yeah, see,
okay.
even he said it's hard to summarize without spilling. Yeah, it's so.
I will definitely
hard.
check it out. I will.
Okay, interesting.
Thank you.
It's one of those like older. Like it's just an older storyline, and I think I would like to see it get remade. To be honest with you, I mean, I love Michelle Pfeiffer and Rutger Hauer, but I think that it with today's technology, it could be done even like more amazingly. Even though, like, I don't know. Anyway, check it out if you have time. Check it out if you have time.
That reminds me. So since I've been rewatching some older movies, what I've noticed is that it seems like the 80s was a really big like storybook time for movies. Like there's a lot of storybook movies in the 80s.
Right.
Like never ending story,
like film adaptations from books.
Yeah, and I've been realizing that, and I'm just like, this is so cool. Like wow, like I never knew this. Like I was born in '92, so I never really like had much exposure to it. But like it's so like people were so whimsical and fantastical during that time. It was just like this is way up my alley. It's awesome.
The Labyrinth.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that, and I'm not sure I want to.
Labyrinth?
Yeah, with David Bowie, right? That one?
Yeah.
No,
that's one of those I'm iffy. It looks like from what I've seen of it, it's a little too fantastical for me.
Yeah,
in a way that I can't. Like I say, I like bad movies, but sometimes
perfect.
there's certain things that I'm just not. I know it's a big fandom thing. I'm not hating on anyone who loves it. It's one of those that I'm just like, I think I'm going to miss the boat on that one.
If you're a Jim Henson fan at all, if you like the puppetry of Jim Henson, Dark Crystal stuff, like
that's one that Gort wants to watch is Dark Crystal.
See, I love Jim Henson in the fact of like the Muppets. Like I love Muppets Christmas Carol. Like I love all of like the Muppets movies, but I never got into like the Dark Crystal or the Labyrinth.
I did.
I never I think for me it was at the time.
I'm not a huge the puppets ones. Like I know of them. I watched them growing up, but it wasn't something that stuck with me. It's not something
I think when I was younger and I watched them, I think it was just more like freaked me out more, so it just kind of turned me off from it.
David Bowie is
I will give that. David
Bowie. He's the pioneer for that type of stuff of being genderqueer in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like or I guess I don't know if he did ever say he was, or he just kept it. He just didn't want to talk about it because he felt like it wasn't important. People kept wanting to know, I guess, but he didn't want. He was like, "Why do I need to talk about it? It has nothing to do with what I'm doing."
Like you give me the Muppets, oh, I I've seen like
Big Manhattan.
I love me some Muppets.
I love Muppets in Manhattan. I love
Hell
Muppets
yeah.
Christmas Carol. I love Muppets Treasure Island. It's
No.
probably one of my
What
favorites.
about something darker? Like, Nick brought up Legend. What about that?
I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
You're not familiar.
I'm not familiar.
Is that the Will Smith movie you're talking about? Where
That's what I'm
he?
thinking.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay,
that's
that-
I Am Legend.
That
No, this is
I Am
April.
Oh,
Legend.
okay.
That was just.
I don't know.
Oh,
Darkness is
Oh, no.
awesome.
I'm sorry, no, because that was that. If you don't realize it, if you don't know anything really about Scientology, there's a lot of Scientology in I Am Legend,
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not really that thrilled with that movie, to be honest. With
and I
you.
just never got into it. It was a for me.
What
I
is
watched it.
Legend? What is Legend about? Just-
Legend is a Tom Cruise, Mia Sara,
Oh.
Tim Curry movie.
No,
I'm
never gonna
not-
watch it.
I'm not a
Cruise.
Tom Cruise fan at all whatsoever. Not.
Oh, that's that fantasy movie. I think I've seen
Yeah.
some of it.
I
Okay.
think
Oh.
I've seen maybe.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
Tim
those
Curry fan
movies
through
like-
and through. Like, I will watch Tim Curry. I don't give a fuck what Tim Curry's in. I will watch everything that man has ever been in. I love him so much.
Oh, he's
so
hilarious.
fantastic.
Oh, that
He's
reminds me.
Tim Curry, I like him in the certain things, of course, the Rocky Horror and
I need to
Clue.
watch that.
Those
I
are
have
both-
not watched
both
that.
good.
If you-
Rocky Horror?
Rocky
Yeah, I
Horror.
need to
haven't
see
seen
that.
Rocky Horror?
The
God, I
only
need to see it.
way
Oh.
you need to watch Rocky Horror is you need to go to a showing where they're
Where the
acting it
fans-
out on stage with the movie.
I'm gonna probably. I haven't gone
Yeah,
to one of
then you
those, but
feel
I feel
virgin.
like you need to. No. I think she would still need to experience. Like she can experience with friends who are fans of it, but I don't know if going to something of that nature.
See,
would
that's
be,
how I got introduced to Rocky Horror. I got thrown
Yeah.
Straight throw right into
I
it?
got
Okay.
straight thrown into the Lions Gate, and it was.
Okay.
I mean,
It's crazy.
I had
It's
my
crazy.
friends. They dressed me slutty. They took me to it. I
Just-
watched it. I got hooked. We
Just
went like every
Do the time
Saturday.
warp. Do the time warp. Get up and do the fucking time
Yeah.
warp. That's all. I don't care where you are. You
I
can be in your
will.
living room, but get up and do the time warp when it's time. Just do
Mhm.
it. You have to get involved
Yes.
with that movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I will say
You
with
do.
Legend, Tim Curry plays the devil. So pretty much. And that, like, his voice, his laugh, it's just a very iconic thing to experience. So
Oh, I love Tim Curry as an actor, just
Oh, fuck
through and
yeah.
through.
Did you see
He's absolutely amazing.
did you see
It?
Oscar? Oscar was one of
Yes.
plays one of my favorite roles in that movie as well. Tim Curry is just a worthwhile actor to follow.
Oh yeah. I noticed that I've kind of centered a lot of my favorite movies around certain actors. Like, I guess I'm a really big Tom Hanks fan. So, like, because there's Forrest Gump and
Yeah.
Castaway.
That's
Oh, I love those
good.
movies.
They're great.
Yeah.
And there's Denzel Washington. Oh, I love his
Love
movies.
him
Man on
too.
Fire. Man
Mm.
on Fire is my absolute favorite. It makes me cry. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. And it's just
Good
like
one.
it's more of an action movie, but it's just so good. It's so cerebral. Oh, and I'm trying to remember. They did it after like a true story, but it was essentially Denzel Washington again. But I'm trying to remember. It was about certain rights. He was like holding up a hospital, something like that.
Oh yeah. 'cause
Oh,
his
yeah,
kid
yeah,
needed
yeah.
a transplant or something like
Yeah,
that. Yep.
something like that. I forget the name. I'm
Yeah,
forgetting
I'm
it.
missing.
Yeah.
I'm
Was
missing
it
out.
Denzel Washington who
It
played
was
Bodyguard, the one down in Mexico, where he played?
Oh, Man on Fire. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
that one's beautiful. Oh, with
Oh,
Dakota
yeah,
Fanning.
you're right. That movie, I cried. At the
Oh, so beautiful. Oh, at the end, I'm just like,
Yeah.
ah, it's so sad, so amazing. Ah. Excuse me.
Do you need a few minutes?
Oh, no. Thank you, Nick. Is John Q. There you go.
Mhm.
That was the name of the movie. Thank you.
The Equalizer is dope too, Brammer. That's definitely a good one. So just like we were
yeah.
talking about, like at the end of the show last week, does anybody have any disliked movies that are controversial?
I
I already said mine.
Go
So.
ahead, go ahead, everyone. at me in the chat.
you know mine.
Dude.
Mine's Lord of the Rings.
I can't believe it. That's just so
I'm
mind-boggling.
okay with. I'm actually okay with you
Man.
not liking Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings because
Yeah,
it is a
I'm
big,
not-
fantastical movie to kind of get involved in, and if it's just not something that catches your attention, it's not going to be something. Like it just isn't. It's
And
kind of like
like I shocked
Right.
Anne with Dirty Dancing. It's not my.
I'm on the same page
Yeah.
with you. I'm not a
That-
fan. I don't hate it. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
I find it funny that like
Okay.
everybody's like, it's fine for you not to like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay.
That's fine. No, it's fine to not
No,
to
no,
like because it's a big involved thing. I mean, I would be a little more shocked if like that. I mean, unless you don't like the making of. I would think that you'd be maybe more interested, not necessarily make you like the movies more, but more interested in how they make it because that movie has a lot.
Oh
of
yeah. No.
behind the
it's
scenes
just-
stuff
it's just
that
for
is
me,
very
like,
interesting.
Watching it in theaters, I was like,
Is it over?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Well, I fell asleep in Rogue One in the movie theater. If that's anything.
Oh, that's sad. Although I don't blame you. It didn't really catch me that much either. So
Anna's face. I slept through the whole Forrest Whitaker scene. I
I was
slept through
waiting
all that Forrest Whitaker saga
I
stuff. Like I
thought
slept through
I
all that stuff.
knew
I'm
you.
sorry.
Aw, Forrest
I'm
Whitaker's
sorry.
the shit.
Oh my gosh! I thought we
That's
were
the only
friends.
Star
We're
Wars
not
movie.
friends anymore.
don't feel bad. Well, I felt
I
like
almost
the
got a
Godzilla
divorce
movie.
over that movie. You guys, no.
I'm
You guys,
sorry.
no. Mm-mm.
I
it
just
didn't grab me as much. I'm
God.
sorry.
That's
The
it.
Mandalorian.
I'm out.
Mandalorian is better.
My sister-in-law
Wait,
does
wait,
not
wait.
like The Mandalorian.
Oh.
Did you
I
say
just found that
Rogue
out last
One?
time. Rogue
Did you
One.
say
Rogue One.
Rogue One, I fell asleep in the movie theaters. Granted, I
One.
was did not get a lot of sleep the night before, so that played into it. But I fell asleep through the whole Saw Gerrera thing. I did wake up at the end and saw all the action at the end and all that stuff. Like I like that. And surprisingly, I do like, was it K2SO? I have a thing for all the droids in
Yeah.
Star
Yes.
Wars. So,
They're so
but I can't get
sassy.
too into them. But all the droids I like.
Like Solo, I
Han
like.
Solo, but that's a whole
Solo-
other thing.
Solo was a good movie.
Yes.
When it comes to prequels,
Solo, the movie was
Yes, it
good,
was.
not like the character. But at me in the chat, it's fine. I can't get too involved into it because that's going to be a whole discussion once I get on Force sensitive. That's a whole thing. I have to deal with. I have to prepare my Dukes for Bobby because that's his favorite. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one.
poor
But yeah,
thing.
no, I fell asleep through that whole, not the whole thing, just that whole section. For some reason, just like the 30-minute chunk, I was out. Like I just couldn't. Like it was boring.
wow.
There was like no action. I just couldn't get into it. And I woke up. He's all like, "Did you see any of this?" And I'm all like, "What?" I was like,
That's so
"He was on the
crazy.
screen."
Forrest Whitaker is one of my favorite actors too. I
I
love
did
him.
not see any of it. Although I've been watching Clone Wars and Rebels, we just got through that, so it's one of those I can go back and watch Rogue One and experience it again in that sense. But I didn't know that the one guy got cut into that movie. But apparently, like he wasn't even really there for most of it. But they like felt like he needed to be there, so they reshot and edited him in. The one skinny guy. I don't know. That's what I heard. That's what someone said.
Which
In
I
Rogue
don't-
One, the skinny
Which one?
guy
Yeah,
who
I
was like
didn't-
always on the plane doing the stuff in the back end. That's why most of his scenes aren't with other people. So apparently he was filmed in. They felt like they needed to add him post or something.
Interesting.
Actually, it was really impressive in Rogue One. Like one of the generals that they had in the
Yeah.
original trilogy, they did like a really good CG version of him in Rogue One. That was impressive. I have
And
to
you have
admit, that
the
was
Leia
very
scene as
impressive.
well. The impressive thing is definitely
Yep.
the whole Vader scene at the end. Sorry, spoilers. I ruined it all. But like that is
been out for a while.
but that's because I love Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. So that's a whole nother thing on that end.
I think Nick and I are the same person because I agree.
Star
He
Trek.
says he likes Star Trek better than Star Wars.
My
I'm with him.
sister
I'm sorry.
loved Star Trek growing
I
up.
know.
My mom did.
Look, okay, I love my Star Wars and I love Star Trek, and I get a lot of grief because I love both of them, and I've been told you're not allowed to love both of them. Fuck
Oh,
you,
you're
I'm
allowed to
sorry.
like whatever you want. You
I'm
don't have to be a
not
fan
I
of
can
both.
like both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's probably
I
more
do.
accepted
I can't- I mean-
now in that sense.
One's more like sci-fi fantasy, the other's just
Given-
sci-fi, you know?
Yeah.
God.
it's like, but I will tell you though, which is probably a huge surprise to everyone, if there was a choice between Star Trek or Star Wars, I would watch Star Wars. But you know, if
both have very strong cultural impacts.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. Both have
They
very
do.
strong.
Yeah.
I'd rather go through the
Well,
original
if you
series
look at,
then.
if you watch the,
I do
yeah, if
love
you
the
watch
original.
the original, yeah, if you watch the original Star Trek, that's where we got flip phones. That's where we got, yeah, that was the idea.
They predicted the
Oh,
future. A lot of stuff. Future
If you really
predicted.
think about it from a
Yeah.
production standpoint too, like that was in the 60s, right?
Mhm.
They had
Yes.
a multiracial
Mhm.
cast
Kiss.
Yep.
already.
They had the
Like,
first.
It was
the
so
first biracial
people
kiss
didn't
was
like
on
that.
They were
Uh-huh.
so
Damn.
ahead of their time. It's so impressive, and it's like so funny because my parents were rewatching it. They were laughing at how campy it is. But I'm like, this was like so long ago. Like, you weren't even alive when this came out. Like, I mean, like this is so impressive. Like based on what they had at the time, and then like so many things that they're doing so ahead. Like they're not only like do they have half and half women and men, but they also have like Black representation and Asian representation. They have gay representation. It's just wow.
Yep.
It's so
It was a beautiful
amazing.
thing.
To say it's so important to American culture
It was.
and pop culture. I should
Mhm.
say
I mean,
pop culture in that sense.
And let's be serious, like Uhura, girl,
Yes.
damn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love
She was
her.
hot.
So
Golly.
fire,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She
And
don't
I,
care.
like,
She gave you
yeah.
enough sass back. She was like,
Oh, yeah.
don't fuck with me, bro.
Oh, yeah. What
I
did he
still.
I.
Hmm.
Did he say hot pants?
You know,
Hot pants.
Anyone else have a non-favorite, unpopular opinion type?
I probably don't.
I already said mine.
I like too many things,
Yeah.
so I don't have.
Honestly,
go ahead.
I was never a big fan of some of the like older Spider-Man movies, but I did not like Spider-Man Homecoming. I was not a big
Really?
fan of Homecoming. I preferred I loved Into the Spider-Verse and I liked Far
Oh
From
yeah,
Home.
that was really good.
See, I didn't like Far From Home.
You didn't like Far From Home?
Not as much as I liked Homecoming. No.
I mean, yes, there
yeah.
are things, but I think it was good to kind of the growing up of Peter in a sense. Like he needs to.
Right.
Like it's too much. He's too
Oh, for
reliant.
sure. Yeah.
Oh, I have to admit,
Jason mentioned
Right.
one that something I am not fond of. That would be an unpopular opinion. Well, it's not true, not a full type of thing. I like one Bond, which
I
is probably the
love
least liked Bond. I like Pierce Brosnan as Bond because it's the campy. I think I like the campy aspect.
Yeah.
I don't like the new
I love
movies,
them all.
any of the old ones. What I do like though is the whole theory that Bond is a name and not a person.
yeah, that's
And
nice.
that whole theory that is like
Right,
I guess it's not
exactly.
proven one, that's the fan theory or whatnot, but I guess the only real proven that supports that theory is I guess a character from Brosnan's time is in the same time as the new Bond. I can't think of his name.
Right.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
There's a main
Yes,
actor
thank you.
who's playing
Yeah.
the same character in both of their movies, and that's why they're saying it's a name, it's a code name, and not a person. So James Bond isn't even a person;
Right,
he's
right.
just a persona of a person taking over the mantle.
Exactly. And that's the way it's supposed to be, is that it's just a persona. But
Mhm.
you know, they never suspected a woman to be Bond. So, but I don't know how you would make James Bond a woman, but I mean, it's doable.
Yeah, I
They could
don't see why
definitely
they
change it
couldn't.
around.
You know what we haven't mentioned
Now,
at
see-
all?
What's that?
Anything Marvel.
I think it's just something that the world
She
is
said
like
Spider-Man.
taking.
I said Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Well,
yeah.
we started to, but I meant like like the whole MCU, like Iron
I don't
Man.
know. I think
Thor,
the MCU is so like it's all of it. I mean, I love the MCU. I think it's amazing, but I think it's just is its own thing because it
It's
is
its own universe.
it's such a feat. Yeah, it's such a feat of a concept for a studio to take on.
And I will admit, I'd rather watch
Yeah.
MCU than DC.
Who? What?
No,
I'd rather watch
yes.
MCU than DC.
Well, of course,
I
because
agree.
DC sucks. I mean,
DC
sorry, at me, bro.
DC
It sucks. You know, your
Yeah.
only good characters are Batman villains. Batman still sucks. Like
I
it just
prefer
does.
I prefer
Yep.
the villains. I prefer the DC villains.
The villains are the best characters.
Yeah.
All the heroes suck
Yeah.
except for Martian Manhunter. He's the only cool
God.
one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's not
God.
even into DC
and
yet.
Stargirl. I like Stargirl.
I don't know that one.
Well, I mean,
No.
it's a TV show
I haven't-
right now.
I have an unpopular movie thing that I know people love and I really can't stand, and that's the American Pie series.
I like American
I'm
Pie.
not-
That's
I
what
love
I
it.
like. I do like
I
that
can't
one.
do
It's
American
stupid
Pie.
humor. It's stupid humor, though.
What?
I can understand
I-
not liking it. It's very
I
stupid.
think for me,
I
I love
love
it
it.
because it represents. I grew up kind of with like the American Pie.
I mean, come on, this
Because
one
that
time
one
in
time
band
at
camp.
Everything like I can't. I look at apple pie so differently now.
What about just like dog shit in general?
I mean, I pick it up every
So you're just like,
day,
you're just
so-
like, ooh, no,
Oh, man.
no, he put that in his mouth. Why?
See, I pick it up every day. So
I know.
For me, it's like
And like my sister, she's 15, and every time she mentions Bandcamp, I have to like bite my tongue.
I know,
Like, I
right?
wish she was
when
old
I
enough
was,
to watch
when I
it.
was younger, it drove me crazy. But now as an adult, I giggle.
Oh God, yeah, that was such a good movie series. I'm sorry, Anna, that you don't like them.
Stifler's
Jason.
mom.
You don't.
It's
It's all about
alright.
Stifler's mom.
Lauren
Stifler's mom.
says he's into the Bourne franchise.
I've only seen one of those, so I can't really
God,
have
it's Jason
an
Bourne.
opinion. Didn't get me in though.
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, I haven't. That's
I-
one I didn't touch.
I have
So-
seen
Yeah.
them.
When it comes to action, though, I have
Yeah.
to. The John Wick series is really good.
Yes.
That's
Mhm.
wow.
Still not have seen the bad beginning scene because I did take it when the first time we were watching John Wick. I did not know anything about it. We didn't know about anything. We're just watching. Heard it was a good movie. Got a phone call right when the bad stuff was about to happen with his dog,
Oh,
and I walked out of the room. I came back into the room while they were watching after that scene had happened. My
Uh-oh.
husband's like, "You could have not walked out of this room any better," because I probably would have flipped stuff
You
and like flipped out from
yeah.
it.
That was
That's
rough.
You
Very,
walked
very
out at the
So I've
right
never seen it.
scene.
All he says like, "You just need to know the dog's gone," and I was like, "What?" It is all like, "That's all
Yeah,
you need to know."
yeah.
So I,
Yeah.
but I love it. I mean, Keanu Reeves, let's go. I mean, like,
The only thing, the only Keanu Reeves movies that I could say not a fan of are The Matrix. I don't know why.
I'll give that to you.
I
I'll give
just
that.
can't get into The Matrix.
the first one or all
They're
of them?
okay.
All of
Because
them.
the first one is good. The other ones,
Yeah, the first one's dope, man. Like I love them.
I saw the first one 3 times in movie theaters.
Yeah, that's a good one. The rest of them are
Still
kind of
haven't
like,
seen them.
like the second one, I can watch it. The third one, I don't even care.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I
not
don't
so
even-
good. I mean, I watch it because Keanu Reeves, but it does. I would not say that they're like amazing movies. It's an interesting concept though, like them continuing the world or whatnot. I don't know if I so much believe. I mean, I guess it could be in theory. The Wachowski is saying that The Matrix is a movie about transgenderism, is what they're saying, and how it is how you can come back into the Matrix to be whatever you want in that sense, and that's how they both kind of related to it.
Huh.
But it wasn't something that was touched on so much. But I guess in theory, I don't know if they're kind of doing it back end wise for it. I mean, it could kind of fit.
Ooh,
Right.
ooh, I have controversial movies. Hang on. How
Go for
about Fast and Furious? I love Tokyo Drift.
Can't get into those. I'm not gonna
I
watch it.
like them. I like them.
I thought
because-
Tokyo Drift was really fun.
I loved them in the beginning. Like the
Tokyo
first
Drift was
one,
okay.
I can handle it. I just like as they've gone on, I'm like seriously, and now people are like they're going to space. I'm like, yeah, they are.
What?
I will
that real?
I liked the Fast and Furious up to Paul Walker's death. After that, it was I don't know
Yeah.
why. I could not get past that. The movie,
Right.
where they were trying to do Paul Walker. I couldn't.
You know what's terrible about that? I love Cars. I love Cars, man. Like,
No.
I love Cars. Gone in 60 Seconds. You remember that movie? I fucking love that movie. I love Cars.
Yes.
Mhm.
I used to I worked around cars for years. I was a secretary at a garage. I helped work on cars. I did body work. I fucking
I
went
was
to
in-
car shows all the time.
I was in a car club and we used to go to car shows all the time.
I sold cars. My dad was a mechanic. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking love cars. And those movies just it's the biggest vomitous cheeseball I've ever fucking seen in my life. Once you get past like the second one,
Yeah,
it just
granted,
gets worse and worse and
Okay,
worse.
Nick, I'm not talking smack about Fast and Furious. I love the movies. I just can't. I don't know. I think they've outstretched it.
They have.
I
And
think
love
I
Michelle
think if they had
Rodriguez I
ended,
love her.
I think if they had ended with the
Seven.
series with that last scene where they're driving off and they separate, I would have been happy if they said this was the last Fast and Furious movie. But now I feel like they're overstretching it.
Definitely.
Well, now it's just the Hobbs and whatever or one. I don't know much about the movie. I just seen that trailer.
Okay,
like,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
That the only reason they put the Fast and Furious in front of the Hobbs and Shobbs was because they wanted to get the
The
fans
family.
of Fast and
There's money to be
Furious.
made.
Whatever.
Well done.
Money.
Yeah, of course, money.
I think it
But
needs
I
to be
mean,
a rule,
but
though.
if you did not have the Fast and Furious in front of it, it's actually a funny movie. But
Yeah.
people were expecting Fast and Furious
No,
because
it's a different
they put-
style movie.
But the problem is because they put the Fast and Furious in front of it, that everyone came to see it expecting Fast and Furious, and it's not that. It's a completely different movie. And if you just look at it as a
It's like
movie
a
on
buddy
its
action
own,
style movie,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's a
Like,
good movie.
Yeah.
It very much is. Yeah. Which I like the other guys as far as like a buddy guy movie
Mhm.
kind of a thing. You
And
know,
like
that's
they bust each other's balls.
Yeah.
You know, they do everything that they can to up one each other and whip their dicks out and try to be like, oh, mine's bigger than yours.
Maybe
Come
it's
on,
just it's a
Rachel.
genre that doesn't fit us.
See, I enjoy it.
I don't
I-
know because a lot of those kind of movies, I love those kind of movies. Like, they're great
Yeah.
movies. It's just like they pushed it too far.
Yeah.
It was too many of the same
Yeah.
fucking thing over and over again.
I feel like it needs to be a rule in the
Definitely
movie
too
industry
many.
that you need to end it at 3. Like it can't go past 3. It really can't. Like it just
Well,
gets too.
the
It gets
thing
too
is,
tired at that
I-
point.
And then I have girlfriends who don't like Star Wars, and they're like, and dun dun dun.
But that's
No.
a little different. Like they at least did like here's the first 3, and then there's the next 3, and then they're still in those like little like
Chunks.
at least 3 chunks,
Mhm.
not like some long run-on
Right.
sentence that they try and call a movie series. So I have a problem with Shrek. Okay, I was going to mention that next.
No,
I-
I
I
feel
only
ya.
like the
I
first
really
one.
did
Oh,
first.
sorry.
I really haven't seen the other
Oh,
ones so much. I've
mhm.
seen bits and pieces. I've seen Puss in Boots though. I don't know why.
I'd
that.
never watched it.
But
I
there's
myself,
love.
too.
I will admit, I love the Shrek movies. Those are one of those movies you just
It's
you
only the
can't
first
help
2
but
I
laugh.
like. That's it. Only the
I
first
mean,
2. and
obviously,
other,
the
it's
first
just
one
like-
is iconic.
Yeah, I'm making waffles. That's like the only thing that really sticks with me.
Or oh my god, the cover of I Need a Hero in the second movie. Oh yes, just so
Right.
Well, like, I mean, and that's the
Best
fun
part.
part of those movies is the music. If you want to get into musicals, that's one thing.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Poor Smash
because
Mouth.
that's what
Oh.
it is. You
Mm.
know,
How is it that Shrek
Right.
has become so much of a meme? I don't get it.
everything's in there.
Because
no,
it's part of the
Shrek was a
nostalgia
different
thing.
level. I don't
People
know
get
if you
the
know this.
clips and they do it. They go back to things that are nostalgia, and that's just how memes get grown. They find something to tie it.
Anybody like those?
Yes, I like
Oh,
the first
Russ
one of
is
Pirates
hollering
of
about Pirates of the Caribbean.
The
Yeah.
first
Oh,
one.
there you
After
go.
I like the
that,
first one. The
First
rest
one
of
good.
them, they're okay. I'm not so much into it in that sense. They did lose their flavor, but the first one definitely. I didn't like that they had to change the ride though to put Johnny Depp in it. That I did not like.
Was it the second movie that had
Yeah,
the Flying Dutchman? I don't remember.
I think that might have been the third one.
Uh,
I don't
Up
remember.
to that one.
I
That
got
I like.
confused.
Yeah.
I started
to
to
that
get
one.
confused. Yeah. But I mean, they're not terrible, but there is another situation where it's like a run-on movie, like it's like
Yeah.
the same run-on situation. And I
Right.
love Johnny Depp movies. I think he's a great actor. There's a lot of underrated movies he's done that are phenomenal.
Yeah, like when
I
he
think
played Trump, and it
The
was so
Pirates of the
believable
Caribbean
that I
movies,
couldn't even
though, is that
believe
they're
it.
fun.
Have you seen that
Yeah.
movie? It was on Netflix.
No.
I
What
can't
is
remember
it?
what it's called. It's based off of Donald Trump's book or something like that. But he plays Donald Trump, and it's like I'll try to find a photo. It's like the scariest like image of Johnny Depp playing
Well,
Donald
you
Trump.
know, like Johnny Depp, when he gets a character, like he
Goes in.
goes
Yeah,
like
really
all
goes
in,
in.
like
Yeah,
100%.
all the way. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he plays that character on and
Oh,
off
it's-
set.
I was
No-
like, "What movie are you guys watching?" And this was back when Gort and our roommate were watching it because they put it. It was like on Netflix. But I was like, "What
Is it an
this?"
older movie? Like, is
No,
it-
it came out very recently. I think like
Oh, no shit.
2018 or something like that. Like,
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to see if I
I
can find like a good photo.
I don't know that one. But I am with Brammer though, like Sweeney Todd. I love Judy Garland too. Across the Universe, guys, was a
Mhm.
great musical
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh, that was so good.
Oh no
Oh
shit.
my god.
That's fantastic. I do have to watch it.
Holy crap.
That is scary.
I gotta watch that. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's the most like ridiculous
Christ.
movie
God.
that it is.
I don't even know if I can.
But
I
yeah.
can. Because it's Johnny Depp. I mean, like, there's so many. He's great.
It's basically
what's the
a
name of that movie?
chameleon.
Yeah.
Crybaby. That was one that I liked. I liked that movie as a kid. Did not get it. Didn't know it was a John Waters movie. Which now knowing as an adult, a John Waters movie, I liked that movie a lot. Did not hit me any way of any of the stuff the way that I know as an adult. I don't know
Yeah.
how my parents let me watch that movie.
It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. I will say though that like I prefer the original Willy Wonka to the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I agree.
Yeah, of
I
course.
I
do.
love that one.
Yeah, but
With Gene Wilder.
yeah,
Mm. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
yeah.
Raspberry.
The Johnny Depp movie is named The Art of the Deal.
The Art of the Deal. Okay.
Okay. I've heard of that.
Mhm. Probably because it was weird seeing
Yeah.
him at it. So people talked about it just because of that alone.
Right.
One of my favorite
That's
Johnny
totally
Depp
cool.
movies is from '95 and it's called Dead Man. It's like it's a black and white and it's really really trippy. Like just really
Oh
odd
wow.
movie.
I should look through his IMDb. I haven't seen many of his movies.
I accidentally got that one. Like I was really poor at parts of my life and I'm buying movies from like the dollar store.
Yeah.
You know? And there's always like doubles on the same thing. And it was on the other side of a DVD I bought for like $2 at a dollar store. And I watched it and didn't watch the other movie. And I think I burnt that DVD out because I watched it so many times because it's so different. It's kind of odd. It's a good one.
Yeah, just going through his list, I got 21 Jump Street, Edward Scissorhands, Benny and June, Gilbert Grape, Ed Wood, There's Your Dead Man, Donnie Brasco, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Sleepy Hollow.
That's a good one.
That was
Uh,
really good.
Blow, From Hell, Once Upon a Time Mexico. Then you start getting all the new ones.
Yeah.
and the
Don
rest,
Juan. Did you guys see Don Juan? Don Juan
No.
DeMarco? That's a good one. That's another good one that he did. And so
I recently watched What's the Eating Gilbert Grape. That one's
I love that movie.
it's a weird one.
Absolutely love that movie.
I think a few other movies that I have to say would be in my top would be The Blind Side. I actually just rewatched it the other day. Love that movie.
Good one.
Yeah, I like that movie. Yeah.
Water for Elephants, because I read the book. I saw the movie. Love it. Mary Poppins Returns, and Saving Mr. Banks.
Nice.
Cool.
That's a good list.
That's cool.
One that I was thinking about earlier, but we got away from the topic and I didn't want to bring it down to depressing movies. But What Dreams May Come.
That's a beautiful movie.
Yeah. Very interesting. It makes you think
It is.
also.
Mm-hmm.
Well, There's another movie
Yeah.
that make the one of those movies that really like surreal, makes you think. I had to like also watch it for my psychology class in college. A
Mhm.
Beautiful Mind.
Yes,
That
that's
was really
also
good.
that's also on my
That's a
list.
good one.
I love that one. I was like, wow, like, it just like blew me away. That reminds me, actually, I still want to see the movie they made about not only Mr. Rogers, but also did they make one about Stephen Hawking?
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah,
yes,
so
that it's that
No.
that
I can't. I watched the Mr. Rogers one. I bawled.
no.
Like
Is it
bawled, like
good?
sobbing.
the Stephen Hawkins one is really good.
I need to watch both of those.
Mhm.
Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll probably cry during those and be like, oh my god, it's beautiful. So.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a good
I
cry.
gotta
It's
watch.
good to
Oh,
just watch.
definitely.
Oh yeah, and I've
Yeah,
definitely had those
true.
movies where like I'm watching and I'm like trying not to cry, like
Just
like,
watch
when,
the
like,
first like 5 minutes of Up. There you go. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. That's just all. If you're
Yes.
depressed and cry out, just watch the beginning of Up. You don't
or the like near the end of Toy Story 3.
Oh my god, that was so horrible. Who thought that was
Yeah.
okay? Oh,
never
God.
seen
didn't see it.
past one. I've only seen one.
Oh, okay. I shouldn't spoil it, but oh
I don't
my
care. You
god.
can spoil it all together. I've seen enough of it. But no, that's not one that I feel like needed to be more. I felt like to
So
me,
you don't care?
Toy Story 1, yeah, I don't care.
Should I?
I've never
spoil
been a
stuff?
spoiler. I spoiled the 7th Harry Potter book the day before it came out.
So basically,
wow.
like they're
Spoilers. So I
basically in like Toy Story 3, they're holding their hands together in this freaking incinerator, going like,
Mhm.
"We have no way out," and
And
they're just
saying
like,
their goodbyes to each other.
Yeah,
and-
they just they give up. They just literally hold hands and go, "All right, we're dying."
Yep.
That's it. They just pan to their faces, and here I am, like looking back to Toy Story 1 and 2, and I'm just like, "Are you serious? We're here? What? A kid movie?"
That's how it ends. I've seen some of that
Wow.
scene.
No,
That's the
no,
one
like
they're-
It doesn't end that way because they get
No.
saved, but there's that like they really had you for a moment. They're like, you
Mhm.
really thought that they were gonna be incinerated and die, and it was
is
just like,
3 the one where they go to the kids'
yes.
Yeah.
kids daycare? Okay.
but they like end up in the junkyard and they like just almost die. And I'm just like, that was not okay. What are you doing, Pixar? No. That
I
was
will
not
admit
okay.
though, I was not a big fan of the 4th Toy Story.
I still haven't seen it.
No,
I
that's
just
I haven't seen it.
That's Jason, what Jason said, because Bethany hates the human centipede.
Oh my god, no, that's, please no, I hate it because if you haven't seen it, you're not really missing it. It's absolutely
No,
vile.
I
It
have
is
not.
vile.
I have only seen little bits of it, and I
Oh.
refuse.
I watched the
I-
whole thing through with Max, and it's absolutely vile. It's good horror, but it's
Yeah,
vile.
it's meant to be horror. Like it's not
Yeah.
horror. It's meant to be gross and disgusting. And
It-
take it as far as
yeah.
it can.
It kind of crosses a line though, where it goes a little too far.
Mhm.
Oh, it makes you feel so
Yeah.
sick in the worst ways.
Uh-huh.
It's just so disgusting. Oh, I will never watch it again. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll never watch it again. It was
I'm good.
disgusting.
I understand the premise. I'm good.
Oh god.
The closest that I got to seeing is the South Park episode of Human Centipede.
Like the thing is, there are some horror movies I can watch. Like I can watch Annabelle. I can watch The Exorcist. I can watch a lot of those.
Well, Exorcist is funny to watch.
No problem.
Sort of,
I
yeah.
need to see that. I had
Like,
the
But for
The-
me, like the Saw movies, can't watch
those
Saw.
are fun. I like those
Can't,
ones.
cannot. And
Well, they
I've
make you cringe.
recently been able to somewhat get through the Purge movies.
I watched
for
the first
me-
one. That was
For
it.
me, I can't watch movies that are mind fucks. And to me, like the
Get it.
Saw
Mhm.
movies
I
Mhm.
get it.
are
Don't-
like they're just for me. It's like, oh my god, this could really happen. Like
The
someone could.
needle, like in one of the Saws, I've seen that scene. That one, no. But for most of the rest of them, I kind of find.
I
but-
just,
Or,
I
you
just
know,
can't.
Breaking your ankle to get yourself free.
They don't really bother me. Like
Yeah.
some of them, I'm just sort of like, eh. It's just,
I'd rather watch.
it's
I'd
dumb
rather watch,
more than
I'd
it
rather
freaks me
watch
out.
someone get possessed by a demon.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the
see,
My cousin and I watched Hostel together, and I just saw Jason say something about Hostel, and the part where like the girl with the fork in the eye, she fucking lost her shit. She was like, and like ran out of the room. It was so crazy.
wow.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I
Have you seen the Grudge
Russ
series?
won't watch.
Only the first one
Mhm.
of Grudge.
Yeah,
No.
I have. Mhm. My dad loves those movies. They're like his favorite horror movies, so I've seen them. Yeah.
Like
Watch
I've watched
the,
like a lot
um,
of like the Halloween movies with Jason, and they're just like, okay.
No, but watch their Japanese equivalents because
Mhm.
Ju-on is scarier.
Yeah.
It is
No, I've seen clips of it, like the side by side of whatever they've been
the
doing.
the
Yeah,
first
pretty
Ju-on.
sure.
It actually like it scared me to the point to where like so when I was 18, I had to go out while it was still dark to go to my job. I got so scared by those movies. I
Mhm.
literally just like put my headphones in and looked down and walked. Just like so freaking terrified.
Right.
And like I would just like see it in like the corners of my eye and be like, so I'm
Now-
sorry, Anna. Go
Now
ahead.
Russ
No,
can't.
you're fine.
Russ will not watch possession movies. Like it freaks him out.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
what really gets him. And I'm like, but I love possession movies. I think that is the best thing in the world. And I'm like, oh man.
See,
I
I'd
like
rather
jump
I
scare
Possessed,
stuff.
so
And
he
I'm
can
like,
watch,
that
like,
just
ghost-
makes me nervous.
Can he watch like ghost movies?
Yeah.
and stuff. Just possession. He doesn't like.
Yep.
Oh, like The Exorcist. Oh, I can
Yeah,
watch
just
Exorcist.
Possession,
I can
yeah.
watch
That's weird.
and those things don't really bother me.
Yeah.
But it's
I
like
think it's
Saw and all that. I'm just like, mm-mm.
Well, something like Paranormal Activity, because it's mostly
Oh,
ghosts,
that
but then
was
there's a little
fun.
bit of possession for some of it.
Yeah,
That was
that's
fun.
no problem.
Paranormal it got him when they got to the end, and it was like, oh shit, that's what it is. He's like, okay, I'm out. And he didn't like we watched the rest of them, and he was like, I don't really know, but yeah, like I can't get him. I want to watch Annabelle. He's like, nope. I want to watch The Nun, that whole series with the nun and all that. And he's like, no. I'm like, come on, man. I'm not gonna.
Did he
sit
say
and watch it by myself, 'cause then
Constantine?
I would
Constantine's
freak
kind
out.
of like
Yeah,
weird
Constantine
like
How
that.
did
does. I
we
rewatched
forget?
that one recently.
Talking
Yeah.
about Keanu Reeves and we forgot about Constantine.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
know,
that's
right,
so
right.
good.
And the Devil's Advocate. I mean, can we go there?
I love Devil's
Ooh.
Advocate. Oh yes.
That's because Keanu is the best. Like,
Oh
he
my
is.
gosh.
He is the
He
best.
is. I have to admit,
People wanted to give him so much crap in the past.
Yeah.
oh, definitely,
right?
yeah. I have to admit, the type of horror that scares me the most is, I wouldn't call it silent, but more like suggestive. Like if you really if you have a movie that really works to build its atmosphere, like Insidious does
Mhm.
that. Oh my
Right,
god!
yes.
Because then, like, your nerves are just like constantly on edge. Any little thing will set
Yep.
you off.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
gets me.
Some of those horror movies use sound to mess with you too. They put
Yeah,
a frequency in there
Yeah.
that is to make you feel a certain way that you may not necessarily know that you're hearing, but the movie is doing it to you.
Yeah,
And
those are the
throwing
movies
you.
that Jason loves watching with me because then he'll look over and he'll be like, "Boo!" I
Yeah.
know.
Oh come on!
They're designed to stress you
Horrible.
out. Like that's just part of it, is to
But
stress you
then it
out.
calms me down because then I'm laughing and I'm like, "I hate you, but thank you. I needed that."
I don't know. Like,
I tell you what,
I find video games scarier. Like, I've watched JD play some video games, and I've just been like up the wall.
What, like
I'm
Resident Evil?
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, or crap, what was it called? It's on the tip of my brain. It's like not Get Out, but it basically this reporter goes to this like
Last
corrupt
of Us?
asylum.
Yeah,
Not
that
Last of Us.
Oh
And,
wow.
Outlast.
Thank
Is that
you.
one?
Yeah, I think it was Outlast.
That's
yeah.
freaky. That's
Oh yeah. That was
that's
really
scary as hell.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember what the one he played where it's like a psychological thing where you hear like whispers and stuff going on around you, and the chick is like going through all these levels of hell to try to find her dude, and it's like
was it Silent Hill?
No. It's hold on, I'll look it up.
Although Silent Hill is a very good scary game
I will admit,
series.
one movie
Holy crap.
that did kind of freak me out was the Wrong Turn movies, only because I used to go to college up in Western Maryland, not far from West Virginia. So I was like, yeah, no.
I have to admit, that's my favorite
Wow.
horror movie of all time is Silent Hill, the first one. That's
Really,
my
I've
absolute
seen it.
favorite.
I would have to see it again. It's been
Yeah.
a while since my brother used to play those
That
games, and
movie-
I would watch him play.
Go ahead.
I accidentally ended up watching.
You just text
Silent Hill,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't sure. I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, "What is this movie? I don't know what the hell." I don't like driving through fog now. Like I freak out driving through fog.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
That's the
I
thing.
don't
They
like
put these
this.
atmospheres in real life situations that you're just like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Someone's
See
gonna
that-
follow me.
So
And I mean,
Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, that video game is freaky. And there's another one that Rutger Hauer is like the main role in that video game, and it's called Observer. Both of those video games are freaky as hell because they're very psychological,
Mm-hmm.
very weird. Anyway, sorry.
Right.
He just text messaged me.
Yeah, I will admit, some of those like, psychological movies, I'm just like, they
Oh.
get to me, and like, it
Mhm.
depends on when I watch them. Because if I watch them at like a certain time, or when like I'm in like a certain way,
Mhm.
it will fuck with me at night in my dreams. Like I will have some very
Yep.
interesting dreams, and it's the same way with some zombie movies. Like part of me for me was zombies. Some of
You
it
don't
for
like zombie
me,
movies?
I love them. I
I
I think
love
for
them
me,
so
I think
much.
for me is that they've just been so overdone. I feel like.
What about what about the
I'll
romantic
take 'em all.
comedy zombie movie with that guy who played the Beast?
Warm Bodies.
Yeah, Warm Bodies.
I
What about
love that one.
I that
love
one
that
that
one.
was a good one. That
That's
was
such a
A
fun.
good
rom-com zombie
I
movie.
never saw
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
One that I wanted to see is the one where Aubrey Plaza plays a zombie as well, and that one I haven't seen. And it has the guy who I can't think of his name. He's played a bad guy in the Andrew Garfield movies. He was the friend. Ugh, I gotta
I
figure out
can't.
the-
I'm looking
We
up
actually
it
tasted
because
it.
I can't remember.
Just watched a zombie movie the other night. It was actually I think like a Japanese zombie movie, and it wasn't
Oh,
that
geez.
scary.
Life After Beth. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, Life After. But it was like Stay. I think it was called Alive. It was
Oh, I
one
know
of
what you're talking about. That just
Yeah.
came out.
yeah, it just came out.
It's on Netflix.
I mean, there was definitely some parts of it that was kind of like
Mhm.
okay, but other ones I was like, okay.
Yeah, the Japanese
another
are really
zombie.
good at like mixing genres. Like
I'm like,
that.
it's another zombie movie. I think for me, it was another zombie movie. Okay,
no,
they're trying to stay alive, running from zombies. They
Right.
get rescued. Okay, it's another zombie movie. Oh,
What
that
about
person's
the 28 days later and 28
I
days
love
later?
that one.
Yeah, that's
Like
good
those are like
shit.
zombie
It's my
movies.
favorite movie right there. Favorite zombie movie.
See, I can't. I'll be honest. It's been so long since like I've really watched them.
Mhm.
I don't. I don't know. I probably have to rewatch them to kind of get my mindset of where I would put them on my list.
Mhm.
Personal opinion question.
Right.
The original Alien movie, would you call that a horror movie?
Yes.
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 Mhm.
Sci-fi horror? Okay.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
love
Yeah.
that movie.
Me too.
I love it.
I only like it because of the phrases from it, and plus it's mostly because of South Park. The whole like they mostly come out like mostly in the episode where Carmen just keeps saying mostly. They mostly come out at night. Mostly. So that's something that
I just like because of all of the
Oh, that's
face,
two.
the face suckers,
or one that
face huggers.
Face huggers? Yeah.
That whole like
It was so cool to go behind like the design behind those movies. So the HR Giger, because oh my god, that's more disturbing than the movie itself. You just really think about it, you're like, oh wow, why are you so obsessed with penises and vaginas, man? Okay, well, all right. I get it.
Penises and vaginas.
Did you ever
pretty
take a
fucking cool?
Did you ever take a good look at the face hugger thing?
I
It looks
know.
like two ball
They
sacks with a
literally-
hippo head and
Yeah, they literally fuck people like down their throats.
Like-
So, you know.
and fingers. It's just like fingers, a hippo head, and ball sacks. It's fucking hilarious.
Because I don't make penises and vaginas.
Is that why the alien, when it
They're
comes
so
out of the
cool.
chest, is like a pseudo penis coming sticking out of it?
Yeah, exactly.
probably. And chewing,
Yes.
biting. Can I tell you guys an actor
I'm
I'm,
sorry,
not a fan of?
Hmm.
I'm
What's
sorry.
up?
I was just gonna say other
I was gonna say-
than what's his name? There's a delay.
Go ahead, Anna. Go ahead, Anna. Go, Anna.
I was just gonna say that scene in Alien when that alien pops out, all I can think of is Spaceballs.
Yeah,
Hello, my
same
baby.
thing.
Hello,
Spaceballs.
honey. Yep,
Yeah.
Not again.
Right.
yep.
Which I've seen Spaceballs before all these other movies, honestly. So I didn't get any of the jokes, but I was a kid also while watching it, and that's what made me like Bill Pullman. So
Right.
There you go.
And Mel Brooks.
There you
I mean,
go.
like that's a guy who just totally gets
Yeah.
me.
mhm.
That's so hilarious. I was just gonna say, like, other than Tom Cruise, I am not a Nicolas Cage fan. Like,
nope, neither am I.
I don't blame you. I
Really?
really don't.
No. I mean,
He's a
the fact
strange
that he
guy.
married Elvis Presley's daughter as an Elvis Presley fan, I mean, that just says something.
Yeah.
That's a bit creepy. That's
Yeah.
he is creepy. I feel
Hmm.
like the only movie I really liked him in,
Right.
and it was one that JD and I watched within the last couple of years, is Mandy. Did you guys see that? He doesn't talk much. Like he
No.
hardly says a fucking thing in this movie, and that's probably why I like him in it so much.
Oh, another movie I like that a lot of people find very fucked up is Silence of the Lamb.
That one's okay.
No, I get that. No, it's a
Just the
good movie.
lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Mhm.
I do me
Yep.
hard. God,
Yep.
yeah, that was hard to say. I'm sorry.
And then on the flip side of like funny would be Galaxy Quest. Love that movie.
That's a funny one too.
Love
Tim
that.
Allen.
Tim Allen, yep. Alan Rickman.
I love Alan Rickman. Oh my god. Yeah. Right.
That's a whole genre of movies we didn't get into.
Oh, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
show, I feel like.
I'll give you guys a good movie to search as our closer.
Mhm.
Look up Dead Snow if you want something that's slasher horror,
Oh,
campy, and
Yeah.
funny as hell. Dead
I-
Snow.
Dead Snow.
Okay.
Dead
oh,
Snow.
and another movie I cannot watch. I watched it in high school. Was The Deer Hunter.
The Deer Hunter.
It was like a Vietnam era movie. Like it was based in like the Vietnam era, and they're captured by the Viet Congs, and it is so fucked up. Like they're like playing Russian roulette and everything, and it is such a fucked up movie. Like I watched it and I was like, nope, never again. And I think another
Wow.
one was like the Fargo movie or something.
I love Fargo.
I
I love that fucking movie so much.
I was like, nope.
Oh my god, it kills me. I laugh so hard when I watch that movie. It's such dry humor and just so fucking ridiculous. Sorry.
Anywho,
Those
Dry
are my
humor is
humors.
fun.
I'm just like, nope, not watching those ever again.
so anyway, we are almost 15 minutes past time.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything they want to plug before we finish up for the evening?
Sure, I've been talkative tonight. Maka Designs at MAJKA Designs, my last name, on Facebook. I do commissions. I also have a Redbubble shop. So please support your local artists. Thank you. I love you guys. I post prints every Monday, and you can message me on Messenger or email me at the email link I provided on my page. Thank you. Anyone else?
I mean, there's
Sweet.
always the
Yeah.
shelf gravy, baby.
Yep,
Shelf
yeah.
baby.
Gravy on the shelf. Mine would be the Nerds Have Spoken podcast. You know, they upload every Thursday morning. It's a good show. Listen to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't forget to check out all the shows on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Usually on Fridays you have MPSP Theater, but they're on hiatus for a few weeks. They're doing some revamping. But yeah, check out all the shows on the ROC channel. Make sure that you check out our YouTube and our Facebook and Twitter. And I actually put audio up finally, like I was supposed to do it last week and I didn't. So that's what I did before the show started was I was video. So we're good to go. We are now on Alexa, Amazon Alexa, and TuneIn. And let's see, we're on Spotify, Stitcher, and I've actually found a couple more platforms that I'm gonna get plugged in and drop in. So yeah, so we are good.
Nice.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Good night to everyone, and good night, ladies. See you in
Night.
1 week.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.